The Army Blues. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing on this Thursday morning? It is the 1st of February, another month gone, another one begins. I have a good morning to Thrax and a reality check. Good morning to my wonderful hubby in the chat. Good morning, Jay Willie. Good morning. Let me see who else we got. Good afternoon to Mariel Bell. Good morning to Fuckwad and Jason and Callie. Good afternoon to a Posmatic. Good morning to Stargazer. How are you guys doing this morning? Good morning to a G. Bronert and a Jacob. How are y'all? Yep, I used the y'all. I'm Southern. That's the way I roll. So let me see. Did I cover everybody? Yep, no new icons unless they snuck in while I was scrolling up and down. Oh, good morning, Amanda. How are you doing, Amanda Wolfchild? So, yesterday was interesting, to say the least. A roller coaster of emotions, frustrations, stress, and everything else you can possibly imagine when, you know, the power company decided it was going to go, oh, I'm cutting your lights off because you're behind. Oh, morning, Ghost Dog. How are you? So, morning, Mitch. As I said, morning, not good morning. Yeah, so yesterday was stressful and harrowing and everything else. Ronan's aunt came and picked me up so I could use her Wi-Fi to pay the bill. So, and Ronan is supposed to be getting here this weekend. I'm crossing my fingers so we can have 34 hours together before he hits the road. We have hit a bump in the road. The SUV has broken down. We're going to have to take it to the shop to get it looked at. Those of you following me on Twitter saw that there was an anomaly because a bird got wedged between the transmission and the engine somehow. We still haven't figured out the how on that one yet, but apparently that bird was really fucking ingenuitive to do something like that because, you know, there were a couple of people saying, hey, I've never heard of that, especially Fuckwad, who is, you know, the resident mechanic in the live chat. So, let's see what we've got going on. Alright, let's see. The tweets this morning, we have two. So, the first one is from the FCC. The FCC is the Intergovernmental Advisory Committee is expanding to welcome new voices and perspectives, and they're looking for applicants. So, there is that going on with the FCC. And the OIR, which for those of you who are not familiar with it, is short for Operation Inherent Resolve, stabilizing Raqqa, connecting current operations to U.S. policy objectives. They are staging an event where you can join a panel discussion on local Syrian and coalition stabilization efforts in Raqqa, featuring experts from USAID and other coalitions as well. Morning, Hellbound, how are you doing? Have you heard of... Yeah, I've heard of Dieter Luckham. It was escaping from Liz Reptile. Well, you know, yeah, I've had a couple of jokes from that one too. I've had a couple of jokes from that. But yeah, yesterday was a day that if I could have reset it, rewound it, and done it over again, I would have most assuredly done it over again, because yesterday sucked. Somebody told Monday it was supposed to rear its ugly head on Wednesday, and I am not having that. Monday's 24 hours. It doesn't have any right to intrude on any other days of the week. It doesn't have any right to fuck up any of my other weekdays, but somehow it snuck in there and screwed up. I have two, Jay Willie. I have two Liz Reptile shirts. One that's Ronan's and one that's mine. So, yeah. And for those of you still wondering, I am still talking to Liz. She and I are still friends. So that is, you know, disclosure there. Amanda, I'd done yesterday over again too, but mainly because I got to get drunk last night. I am a lightweight. I'm a cheap date. You can ask Ronan if he's still listening. He'll probably, you know, back that up. Doesn't take much alcohol to make me drunk. And this dog has decided to hide under my table for some reason. So you may not see much of him unless he decides to jump on the bed. And the bed is messy because no matter how I make it, he always jumps around on the bed and screws up the sheets anyway. So there's that. So I'm going to keep the website right. I tried to make the website live yesterday, and apparently I uploaded it to the wrong spot. That's getting fixed. So as soon as the desktop version of the website goes live, I will let you guys know, and I will tweet it out. I will put it in Discords and stuff, and then start working on the mobile version. Let me see. Jason, man, I quit driving because I've never been able to run over a seagull, and you got one over on accident. Oh my god. Yes, it is. It's looking very frizzy and Cuban today. Morning, CT. Morning. All right, let's get on with the show, shall we?
Happy Thursday, everyone, and thanks for checking in as we take a look at your national coast-to-coast forecast. Today is the 1st of February. January is behind us now in the first month of 2018. That certainly seemed to fly by. Looking at our last official month of meteorological winter, of course, on March 1st, that's the beginning of a meteorological spring. But here we are. It definitely is going to be a little bit active with several snow chances across the northern tier of the nation and a very cold Groundhog Day coming up tomorrow. We'll see what Punxsutawney Phil says tomorrow in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. And it's going to be chilly, and he's going to be freezing his furry little tail off. But how about this? Erie, Pennsylvania, so far this season has had 140, near 4 inches of snow so far this season. Again, and not too far away from one of the snowiest seasons ever on record at nearly 150 inches set in 2000 and 2001. We're going to have additional snowfall coming up in parts of the Northeast over the next several days. Again, enough to shovel in a few spots out there. Starting off as a cold rain, and then as we get into the late afternoon, evening hours, you can see how that transitions into some snowfall. Again, we're not expecting a terrible amount, but there will be some accumulations across the region. Cold air will run across the Great Lakes, and we're looking at some decent snowfall tallies in the lake effect snowband areas. Elsewhere, again, a few inches here and there across the region as our next storm system kind of peels off of the Pacific Northwest and the Rockies. So again, later this week and into this upcoming weekend, we're going to have more snow just in time for the Super Bowl in Minneapolis. Looks like a cold Sunday there, but as you head back to the Northwest, again, the Cascades of the Northern Rockies seeing quite a bit of snow and feet possible in those highest elevations. Seattle could see maybe 1 to 2 inches of liquid in those areas, but here comes the cold air surging from the Midwest and cooling down just in time for Groundhog Day tomorrow.
And that is the weather. So now on with the breaking news. It doesn't seem to... Whoops. Wrong one. Ha ha. The blooper of the morning. There we go. Yep. Zeus. Across the pound. All right. Let me bring up my news story so I can actually read it. Yay, bronchitis. Woot. All right. All right. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has made a policy official on Wednesday. This policy will send deportation agents to courthouses on all government levels to make arrests, which disregards the complaints coming from groups that advocate for illegals and judges. The major complaint is the new policy puts fear among crime victims, witnesses, and family members. The directive, which is 2 pages, will allow ICE agents to enter courthouses to sequester and deport specific targets. The types of people on the list include convicted criminals, gang members, public safety threats, and previous deportees. The witnesses and family will not be targeted for deportation, but there is a caveat in the directive for, quote, special circumstances, unquote. Acting Director Thomas Homan says agents will not target non-criminal areas like family court and small claims unless approval comes from a superior. To be fair, courtroom arrests did happen under the Obama administration. The difference here is arrests have been ramping up under Trump, an administration which has seen an approximately 40% surge in arrests and a casting of a wider net. Courthouses should not be used as bait in the necessary enforcement of our country's immigration laws. Hold on just a second. Alright, let's see here. Where was I? Oh yeah. Courthouses should not be used as bait in necessary enforcement of our country's immigration laws. California Supreme Court Chief Justice Taniji Cantil Sakoye, I know I screwed that last name up, wrote when asking ICE to stay out of her courts. Her response on Wednesday to the directive seemed to take a different tone. If followed correctly, this written directive is a good start. It's essential that we protect the integrity of our state court justice system and protect the people who use it. ICE shot back with a statement directed at sanctuary cities, cities that limit and in other cases impede aiding in federal authority outright, quote, increasing unwillingness of some jurisdictions to cooperate with ICE in the safe and orderly transfer of targeted aliens inside their prisons and jails has necessitated additional at-large arrests. So, yeah, Zeus is full of energy today. So, let's see here. Yep. Advocate, J. Willie, advocate for illegals and illegal immigration equals advocate for criminals and crimes. Just a fact. Yes, I agree, J. Willie. It looks like, and I like the fact that ICE is cracking down. I like the fact that they are taking a proactive approach to this. They need to. They need to start going after these sanctuary cities that fly in the face of the 14th Amendment and literally impede investigations and the gathering of information in regards to illegal aliens and so forth. We really do need to crack down on our immigration, and we need to get these repeat offenders that are illegal aliens off of our soil and away from the American public. Simply because it's just, they're illegal. They shouldn't be here. Now, if you want to go through every legal channel to become a citizen, I have no problems with you when you do that. If you are trying to flee from a war-torn country where you've seen a lot of problems, then we can give you asylum, but you have to ask for it. Cosmetic warning. Businesses that don't pay their taxes are simply undocumented earners. If illegal aliens are undocumented migrants. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. With that apostmatic, and I agree. You can simply change a couple of words in that sentence, and it fits in just about every instance. Jay Willie, you don't just agree with me because it's not just about but mostly about what we know. Yeah. We need to be stricter on visas too. Well, the immigration reform, Amanda, is going to include trying to get rid of the blockchain and lottery visa program. Trump wants to reform it to start a merit-based immigration system. So less than here's a visa for you because your application is approved, and more what can you bring to the United States in order to make this country better. Merit-based systems are employed in Canada and other countries to make sure that the people that want to become citizens of those countries can actually contribute to the government and not be a burden on the government by taxing welfare programs and so forth. And Amanda, I like that, but I worry about overstayed travel visas. Yeah, some overstay travel visas, some overstay work visas, and student visas because they don't ever go back to renew them, so they start hiding. And that's how often they get away with not, having to become a legal citizen. But I am keeping my eyes on the immigration issue. I'm going to dig deeper into that, probably today, as well as the FISA issue to see what I can come up with. Friday, I don't think Coffee Talk is going to be a geek stream. Chances are it might be covering the FISA memo and immigration reform and what's going on with that. So we shall see what happens there. I'm probably going to need some guests to speak on those two topics. All right, next one. Canada goes gender neutral in anthem. A campaign launched in 2013 has come to fruition in Canada as the Canadian Senate voted to make changes to the English text of the national anthem to remove, quote, in all thy sons command, unquote, to, quote, in all of us command, unquote. The bill was first proposed in 2016 but was passed on voice vote approval Wednesday. A similar bill tried to gain steam in 2010, but failed. This isn't the first revision, however. The English version originally had the line, thou dost in us command. This was changed to in all thy sons command in 1913. So that change has happened, and as we see, it's not the first change to their national anthem. And I'm suspecting it probably won't be the last. So, we'll see how that goes, and the response from people in that country that are more level-headed. Jay Willie, okay, this is enough. Fuck Canada. Yep, I know. They're going deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. Doping ban lifted on 28 Russians. In a move that has put the IOC's policy on Russian doping on its head, 28 Russian athletes have had the ban overturned. This was ruled by the Court of Arbitration for Sport on Thursday. The evidence presented was, quote, insufficient, unquote. The overturned ban included several medalists. This stems from accusations at the 2014 Olympics in Sochi. There were 11 more whose ban were upheld, but only restricted to the Pyongyang Games, meaning no lifetime Olympic ban. Those 28 can now seek a late entry into the 2018 Olympic Games. But the French version stays the same. Yeah, they didn't mention the French version, Mariel, so I'm assuming the French version is going to stay the same. It's only the English version that is going to change. Let me see. Amanda, a lot of people who like how the change sounds are still pissed off based on the principle that they don't like changing things to appease certain people. Yeah. I kind of have to laugh and agree at the same time. They are bowing to a minority. They are bowing to the squeaky wheel, as I like to call it, because the squeaky wheel often gets the grease. I know it's an old and overused cliche, but it is appropriate in some instances, and it is appropriate here, because let's face it, these fourth wave intersectional feminist people and all these, will you hush? All these advocates for all this stuff, good morning, Tranime, are the squeaky wheel. They are the ones that are yelling the loudest. They are the ones that are bitching the most, and so they are the ones getting the most attention. Hold on just a second. I gotta see if I can get him to hush again. Alright, so we do have that there. So we're going to see how this develops for the Olympics. I missed all the news because of a customer. Oh, fuckwad. Yeah, I know, he just wants to say hi. Actually, he wants to play fetch and he thinks I'm ignoring him. He does that often. Let me see. Zeus, but I want to talk to the people's mama. I want to talk to the people's mama. It's my public's mama. I want to play fetch mama. People like to see me mama. I got the mama. Yes, that's my Zeus voice. Alright, so here we go. The big story today, changes made to FISA memo causing stir. After having voted to have the memo released, the FISA memo has now been passed to President Trump for final review and to see if he will release it to the public. He has said he would release it, but now there are allegations that Nunes had made last-minute changes to the memo, and Representative Schiff is asserting the memo is not the same one that was voted on. A spokesman for Nunes, Jack Langer, has said the memo had been changed, but was only grammatical fixes with 2 edits requested by the FBI and the minority themselves. The minority is referring to committee Democrats. When pressed in a hearing whose transcript has been made public whether the released memo will be word for word, he responded with, "We will send the content over to the White House, and the president has 5 days to either agree with us that this should be made public, or the president could say he does not want it made public." Democratic Representative Jim Himes of Connecticut was quoted as saying in a formal meeting, "I asked Chairman Nunes not once," let me scoot this up, there we go, "but twice if his memo would be released precisely as we reviewed it. He said yes, then altered it. The FBI harbors grave concerns over the release of the FISA memo. It said it was only given a small opportunity to review the 4-page memo. This is the first time the FBI has said anything publicly about the memo, which points to abuses by both the FBI and the DOJ of the FISA court in order to use surveillance on Trump during his campaign." Now, this is the tweet which is linked below. Breaking, discovered late night that Chairman Nunes made material changes to the memo he sent to the White House. Changes not approved by the committee. White House therefore reviewing a document the committee has not approved for release. That is from Adam Schiff's Twitter. Yeah, the FBI does not want it out. The FBI absolutely does not want it out. Hey, Panina. Good morning, dear. Yeah, they don't want it out. I mean, if you pass the memo on to the FBI, they will retcon and edit it to death. Same thing with the DOJ. They don't want it known what their what their stake in this was, what exactly happened. I would absolutely love to be the first person to get my hands on the memo. However, I'm always asleep when shit gets released, so I'm never the first one, which is frustrating. But so goes it, because the news chick has to sleep, otherwise she's grumpy or punch drunk from lack of sleep. All right, and this is the press release that Nunes took out in response to the allegations about the edits. And he says, Nunes statement on FBI DOJ objections to release of HPSCI memo. This was January 31st. House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence Chairman Devin Nunes issued the following statement today. Having stonewalled Congress demands for information for nearly a year, it's no surprise to see the FBI and DOJ issue spurious objections to allowing the American people to see information related to surveillance abuses at these agencies. The FBI is intimately familiar with material omissions with respect to their presentations to both Congress and the courts, and they are welcome to make public, to the greatest extent possible, all the information they have on these abuses. Regardless, it's clear that top officials used unverified information in a court document to fuel a counterintelligence investigation during an American presidential campaign. Once the truth gets out, we can begin taking steps to ensure our intelligence agencies and courts are never misused like this again. That's Nunes's official statement from the intelligence website. So that's straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. G. Bronner, I wonder if Fast and Furious is mentioned at all. I don't know, but I hope so. It would be nice to actually see everything that happened with Fast and Furious. G. Bronner, I personally think the FBI and CIA need to be combined. Well, okay, if I remember correctly, the CIA can only spy abroad. FBI is for our federal purposes, and the National Security Agency can actually conduct things within the United States. Central Intelligence, Federal Bureau of Central Intelligence, I believe, Mariel, is what it means. Let me do a quick FBCI. Let's see what it stands for. Okay. Task Force for Faith-Based Community. No, that ain't right, because that doesn't match. FBCI. Let me see if we've got biotechnology. I can't get an answer as to what the FBCI stands for. I'm sure somebody can look it up. Rather combine the FBI, ATF, DEA. Yeah, they should. They should, Mitch. They should. GOP is speaking at Trump is speaking at a GOP retreat at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, according to Fox News just now. Okay, I'll see what I can do about going over there. Morning, Malachite. All right, how are you doing this morning? Yeah, I can't see what the this alphabet soup really needs to be defined. And I call it alphabet soup because I used to work for the government, and my God, they love their abbreviations. They love their abbreviations. Nope, that's what it is. FBCI, Faith-Based and Community Initiatives. That is from justice.gov. So that's what FBCI means. Let me see here. I was trying to combine the two together. Yeah, I know. But it's just, there's so much. I call it alphabet soup because it is. The FBI, the DEA, the ATF, the NSA, the CIA, the DOD. They love their abbreviations, and all it is when you don't know what the abbreviations are is alphabet soup. And it's ridiculous because there's way too many agencies. Oh yeah, and the Bureau for Homeland Security. So yeah, there's that one. Way too many. Way too fucking many. If we could combine them. Morning, Viking Sandwich Wench. Welcome to the chat. Pull up a chair and your favorite brew. We just got done with the news. We're getting ready for the recommended views and all the other fun stuff. But welcome to the show. Thank you for popping in. Okay, so that is the news. And I will be, like I said, I'll be delving deeper into these. I usually tend to make notes. And we will see what we have got going on in those particular areas. So, we all know what time it is, right?
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
First recommended video today is an absolutely hilarious take on the Jordan Peterson versus Cathy Newman farce of an interview by Dr. Randomercam. Yes, he uses his puppet to shoot back at Newman, and it is absolutely hilarious. I mean, oh my god, it is absolutely freaking hilarious. You have got to check this thing out. There are even parts in this video where you can tell he's trying not to laugh because he's cracked himself up. It's that good. That good. Rin MIchaelis is highlighted today with Theryn Meyer versus Blaire White and Andy Warski. She goes into that whole issue about Andy having Richard Spencer on and Theryn Meyer's response to Red Pill Black not using Blaire White's new pronouns. I don't say preferred because she's actually transsexual, so her new pronouns and not her dead ones. I think that's the terminology. I'm learning new stuff every day. So this was a really good take because she always approaches things from a neutral standpoint. She shows both sides. She gives her 2 cents, and it's her videos are very interesting to see. So what you're saying is we should watch this. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Alright, the Rageaholic, our dear Razor Fist, the master of shooting off strings of insults, is at it again with Spite of the Union, a rant. I love watching his videos because he is absolutely masterful at stringing insults together with an artistry such as the like I have not seen ever. And I think he does it all in one breath. I haven't been able to prove that yet. But it is a great video to watch. And last but not least, Thorne Midnight is now doing creepypasta. I listened to the Boogeyman and several others of her creepypasta readings, and she is very good at her readings. Her cadence is right on point. Her audio and her visuals are very good too, and they add to the ambiance of the stories she is reading. So please check her out and give her some support. Those are the recommended views for the day.
I'm telling you guys, it's wrong. It's wrong! It's wrong!
And for the dramatic reading of a cancerous article this morning from Callie, our lovable cancer person in our Discord, The Misogynist Within from thenation.com. Sexual harassment expresses power dynamics from which all men benefit. Here we go. My overly over-the-top dramatic British accent, and we're going to dive into this. I'm a misogynist. Okay, wait a minute. This doesn't fit. I'm a misogynist. I'm a black man who likes to think of himself as a feminist. I'm a progressive. I'm gay. Hopefully, I'm a relatively decent guy. I certainly mean well. Still, I'm also a misogynist. Bullshit. How could I be? I spent my entire life in a society that by every imaginable measure devalues and dismisses women. It's the case for politics. In nearly 230-year history of the U.S. Senate, we have elected just 50 women to serve. Nearly half of that number are in office now. It's the case for wages. Women still make roughly 80 cents on the dollar. Bullshit. That's paid to men. It's the case for families. Single mother remains a casual, if coded slur in great many minds, short-handed for a Jezebel who's damned her offspring by failing to get and keep a man. It's even the case for our diversions in sports stadiums, in the movie theaters, in the museum galleries, and comedy clubs, and on and drearily on it goes. We've gone so far as to organize our guards around misogyny. The evangelical South sport for Roy Moore has drawn shocked, breathless comment, but the white South's Christian faith has always been malleable, bending to accommodate the power of white men. says Christine Lee Harriman lays out in Southern Cross her study of the Bible Belt's origin story. Women and young single men initially dominated evangelical Christianity in Revolutionary era America with a doctrine that rejected slavery. But these upstart congregations struggled to maintain a mass following in the South because their power structure threatened to undermine a society built around married white men, the laws of the South's women, children, and enslaved workers. So by the 1800s, Southern Baptists and stripped women and black people of all decision-making roles. Once the new faith tradition has aligned itself with a white supremacist patriarchy, it flourished. Let's see. You love the black scent. I think Maddy might take herself hostage, placing saddles. Morning, Devin May. Pull up a chair. Get your favorite view. You're just in time to hear me finish the dramatic reading of a cancerous article. So here I go. Yep, like a southern black preacher. I try. I have different accents hiding around. If she had a deeper voice, she would sound like Isaac Hayes. My God, I married a black gay ghetto bitch. Watch your ass. I love you too, Ronan. Our national history is full of such stories. America is rooted in misogyny, and thus so am I. I have spent most of my adult life trying to acknowledge these facts and correct the way they shape my own behavior. It has been said that we're living through a reckoning with sexual harassment on the job. One powerful man after another has been outed as a predator, and my own workplaces have not been spared. This reckoning with sex is a tool of male power, and also generated questions about complicity. Who watched and did nothing? Who enabled such bold behavior? When the morning show anchor turned his office into a dungeon, somebody surely noticed. Certainly each of these men have had accomplices in management, and those people must be held accountable. But if we're honest, the complicity is broader. The dudes flashing their dicks at co-workers and forcing their tongues into people's mouths are physically acting out the power structure in which they know they live. All of us who are male-identified need to seek ourselves. What role do we play in creating that structure? How long is this fucking article? Holy crap, this thing is long. Okay, I'm going to read 3 more paragraphs. Then I'm going to be done because I think I'm up to like stage 3 by now. We don't have to be Billy Bush to be part of the problem, though I have to let more vile objectification of women pass without challenge than I care to recall. I often think the most damaging way in which men are complicit in patriarchy is by receiving our many privileges as normal. For years I comfortably accepted the starkly gendered division of caretaking labor in my family, allowing me a freedom of movement that my female cousins did not have. I recall managing teams in which I thoughtlessly rewarded male entitlement, while allowing equally ambitious but less aggressive women on the team to linger in support roles. Learning to undo rather than reinforce gender hierarchies is a permanent project. As is often the case, I only made contact with the problem when I felt how much I've also been hurt by a society built to diminish women. Masculinity operates like whiteness. It demands control over any space it enters. It plants itself in the center and shoves anything coded as feminine to the edges. In a man's world, decisive is better than deliberate. Bold is strong. Cautious consideration is weak. Reflection invites regret, and that's weak too. Ditto collectivity. The rugged individual only joins a group in which he can be the reigning hero, and he keeps his emotions in check. Better to strike out in rage than sit in your sadness. I spent far too many years accepting these falsities as obvious truths, wearing them like a straitjacket around my own humanity. How about you wear the straitjacket around your face and tighten it till you suffocate? Oh, Lord have mercy. It's hard to do that voice. Oh my gosh, I think that's all the cancer I can put up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the dramatic reading. Whew. Alright, now for the live stream announcement. All times, as always, are Eastern Standard Time. Please adjust for your time zone. Numbed Skull, Monday through Friday now, is hosting the Great Debate, where they discuss topics that are randomly chosen by a board of topics. 11 a.m. he started playing the comics or cartoons rather, Kumite on Tonka Saw's channel. At 8 p.m., grab pizza and beer and join Hellcats on Jason Brazeal's channel, where he either plays games, does commentary, or just hangs out with some friends. Hi, morning, Magnus. Yeah, you missed the news. Lords of the Night, 9 p.m. on Some Dumb Americans channel tonight. And after that is over, Minions of the Zoo has their night stream. So those are the live stream announcements. That was the cancer of the day, which is completely fucking wrong. They keep, I noticed a certain amount of glaring facts, and I know I said bullshit out of character a couple of times. There is no wage gap. These people don't understand that it's not a wage gap, it's an earnings gap. When you don't work as many hours as your male counterpart, you're not going to earn as much as your male counterpart. Period. Case in point, end of fucking issue. They keep bringing it up. I don't care who you are if you're a female. If you're a female and a mother and you have one or more children, you're not going to be able to work the same hours as a man unless you want your children living in child care. A cosmetic warning, the wage gap is about as realistic as Rosie O'Donnell's thigh gap. Oh my goodness. Yep. I have to agree with that one. I have to agree. Also, I make more money than my male coworkers because I has more experience. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have been in that position, too. But our shoes and underwear and beauty products are so much more expensive, G. Bronner. Now, Thrax has a mental image ingrained in his brain that he can't get rid of. So for those of you new to the show, if you like the content and you want to see this show Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, please hit that subscribe button and that little bell, and hopefully YouTube will notify you. If not, I tend to shill all over Discord, so watch out for that. Also, on Mondays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do Coffee Talk, where we either delve deeper into political issues that everybody is keeping their eye on, or we just frickin' geek out to nostalgia stuff. I think last Friday we geeked out to cartoons. So please join us there. Saturdays on my gaming channel, I do a gaming stream. So this Saturday is going to be Bendy and the Ink Machine Chapter 3. Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my main channel, Old Time Radio Theater, where we heckle. Oh, cool. Thank you, Devin May. Let me see. Old Time Radio Theater on Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we heckle the hell out of old time radio, not because we hate it, but because we absolutely adore it. Also, for those of you that are in the live chat that have regularly scheduled live streams, if you do a 20-second spot, like a 20-second little commercial, and you link it to me either in DMs on Twitter or on Discord, I will add it to the show as commercials to remind people that there are shows that are going on. This weekend, if you keep an eye out for Politipod's channel, he will be having a stream in which he brings up issues for veterans in the military and also does a fundraiser. So please keep an eye out for that. And as soon as I have everything scheduled, I will start tweeting that out and helping him promote that. For those of us in the United States that are constantly frustrated with the fact that our country needs to do more than it does to support its veterans, we need to help them out as much as we can, however we can. So, on that note, may your coffee ever flow, may your caffeine be ever strong, and may you have a thoroughly terrific Thursday. Take care, my coffee nuts.